What up YouTube, Quasi here. So Reddit says warrior sucks, shield charge sucks, one-handed maces suck, armor sucks, and you know what, they are right. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun with this. So let's make shield charge and armor work. I'll do this T12 here and show some gameplay. Not the most optimal, not meta by far, but it works. I've done some T15 maps. Here's just a random T12 because that's kind of where I am now. Really, this is a mostly SSF character, and the gameplay loop is just mad fun. Rolling slam, shield charge, blow up some mobs, run to the next group. Shield charge, rolling slam, get a little bit more daze stun build up, AoE damage, and then shield charge, blow them up. Keep going while we look for the yellows and try to group a bunch of monsters around the yellows before the map clear. Ooh, nice. Jinvaria. Let me grab that. So, clearly not optimal, and you are in danger, but you're decently tanky. You got a lot of block chance, a lot of armor, and armor actually does help against all these trash mobs. Gives you time to set up your main damage and whatnot. Plus you have healing on block from some of your passive tree, which helps the armor work a little bit better. Oh wow, there's only one yellow in this map? That's crazy. I'm gonna do it anyways for experience and for loot drops. I'm gonna get some more waystones if I can find any. But just showing off the chunking gameplay here. And then for bosses you got Mace Strike. It's your single target DPS with Rage on it. There's probably a lot of room to optimize here. Like I said, I don't trade. This is technically non-SSF, but I play by myself. All the gear's basically self-found, except maybe one or two pieces from two buddies I play with while we were leveling. But I think I've discarded all those now for self-found gear anyways. Whenever I get stuck, hit a plateau, I go to in-game Alva and look for... Well, first I look at my gear here and see what the lowest eye level item is. Most of them are now in the 70s, but say like I had a 50 helmet. I would gamble helmets, and then I would spend some exalts on that helmet until I found the gear I'm looking for. Mostly armor and resists, pretty much. Very important to have a lot of armor on the shield, because that's where the shield charge damage comes from. But gear-wise, nothing special. Like I said, all self-found or gambled. I will say one big exception to that was I did get a divine drop, and I traded it for 90 or 100 exalts, and I used that to help gamble some of these items. I still have 30 of them though, so even if you're playing full trade, probably won't cost you more than a few exalts to get to where I am. So here's the Mace Strike damage. I'll just show the supports real quick, just prioritizing damage here, because that's our single target. Shield charge, we fully break armor when we heavy stun, and this already has a stun modifier, plus our passes help us stun a lot, so we pretty much fully break armor instantly, which leads to this armor explosion, which leads to AoE damage, and then magnified effect amplifies that even more. And then heavy swing is just some damage on top, because the attack speed penalty doesn't really affect shield charge too much, so I put it there versus on the other gems. For leveling, I used Bone Shatter and Infernal Cry before I got some of the passives working for shield charge, but now I don't really use it except for Culling Strike, basically to finish off a rare or a boss, save me a little bit of hits. And then I don't really use Infernal Cry anymore either, but when leveling I use this with either shield charge or Bone Shatter to juice up the damage and clear packs. And then here's my Rolling Slam. Not optimized, but built for days mostly, and for some of that AoE damage. I could play around with this. One thing I do want to call out for Rolling Slam though is, even though the damage is only 3500 here compared to the basic attack and everything else, you do get a little more damage when you look at your first and really your second slam. So then again, this skill isn't our main damage, but just showing that there is more damage than it first appears. And that's especially true with shield charge when you look at this collision here. So you get a big chunk of damage on anything you directly hit versus the AoE. which is pretty nice, so it can compete with Mace Strike, especially for your AoE clear. But that's really the key abilities: Shield Charge and Rolling Slam, and then Mace Strike for single target damage. I do use these two spirit buffs here, Overwhelming Presence to make it easier to stun, and then some supporting survivability supports, really. Mana, because I was struggling with that for a while. Vitality. And then Cannibalism is really nice here on this Herald of Ash. And you can flip these supports either way, whichever one you run first, because you won't have enough spirit when leveling. It doesn't matter. Just play until you hit a plateau, like, hey, your mana is an issue, then try to build towards clarity or some mana on gear, so on and so forth. At least that's how I played. I do have Resonating Shield just to buy me some time in emergency situations, and break armor on bosses, but I very rarely use this. Just when I get surrounded and I need time for my shield charge to come off cooldown. Speaking of which, make sure that you have Gem Cutter Prisms on your shield charge, because if you notice down here, you get cooldown rate from those from that quality. And so this is what lets you shield charge, rolling slam, shield charge. And then likewise on rolling slam, you get where does it tell me? I think here. Yep, you get days as part of that gem quality percentage there. So that's really about it. Let me show the passives. Nothing too crazy. Personally, I prioritized defense while leveling because I got a lot of my damage from my weapons. But let me see if I can call out a few important nodes. Maybe this Resolute Technique for when you start having accuracy problems, probably when you're 40, 50, 60. Instead of building accuracy, just build Resolute Technique. You're not going to have critical damage on your gear anyways, so might as well. Also, obviously, I prioritize a lot of armor break stuff here, and damage when armor broken. It's really good for that heavy, or the shield charge. And then shield nodes. Block chance is probably the best defensive stat here on this character. So stacking block chance up to the point where it's capped, and then I don't really get more than that. Then armor along the way. Some melee damage on stunned enemies. I really like these nodes over here, the area of effect, because that helps compound the shield charge armor explosion. And then just area damage on that ability. And this is that life on block node I was talking about. This was a nice jump in survivability for myself. And then some single target nodes here, really. This mace damage, stun buildup, heavy stun for bosses, which you'll need during the campaign. Gem wise, just whatever I could find. Attack damage, stun buildup, block chance, right? Anything that makes sense for maces and shields, really. And that's about it. Nothing too crazy. I got this strength node just because health never hurts. And then some life regen here in the early game. And more shield related nodes here. Probably the next thing I need is more stun threshold. I'm starting to run into that again, so I might pick up a few of these nodes. We'll see. And then pretty much all these nodes are strength, but I think I have 1 or 2 dex nodes throughout here just so I can use the supports. I think that's it. Trying to think if there's anything else I should show. Make sure I go through all these abilities and their supports. You can pause, take a look. But that's about it. Not optimal for sure, but really fun. So don't let Reddit stop you from playing what you really want to play. And this is definitely a more tanky character compared to some of the other classes. Leveling's a little bit rough, but it's doable. Any challenge you run into is solvable. My character screen one last time so you see. Don't even have too much chaos resistance yet. Oh, I should. One of the most important parts on the passive tree. I only have 2 trials done. Mostly because I don't have the honor resist relics to do the 3rd trial, but this is all you need. I actually started with instead of this crushing blows, because I was a bone shatter build, I started with this regenerate life and maximum life. But I transitioned over here to these crushing blows, and it works perfectly fine. I'll probably add this heavy stun damage boost next, because that'll be nice since I'm instantly heavy stunning and armor breaking with the shield charge. But this is a really low budget build that is not optimal, but it's fun. And people like to complain about armor. It is true that it is weak compared to almost everything else like energy shield and whatnot, but it helps for soaking up this trash mob damage, and all the big hits are mostly pretty well telegraphed, so you're going to dodge those anyways. The heavy boss slams are like these bigger mobs that are going to pound the ground, or volatile plants, those purple explosions and death effects. You can usually see them. You just got to pay a little bit more attention. And I find it kind of fun to play that way. Dodge around and shield charge, rolling slam, and you can eat some of these no problem. And got a little bit of single target there. Really, you can kind of ignore the single target. Just dash and roll. Find the nice groups of mobs. Let nice groups of mobs. Let them come to you so that you can compound the damage again, and then boom, blow them up. The stun gives you a little bit of survivability as well. So between your block chance, your resistances, your armor, your life regen, you're not quite as squishy as Reddit makes armor sound. Of course, it would be nice if it was better, but just play it, have fun. I found the challenge kind of fun, making a weak build work. And there's nothing like chunking mobs, even though other builds can. Ooh, I almost died there, but I ate it. Even though other builds can do some of this AoE clear better, it doesn't stop my enjoyment of Warrior. I just really wanted to use a shield, make shield work. So that's pretty much it. I'll probably leave it there since I already beat this map, but I don't have too many problems with most map modifiers yet. I'm sure it'll come as I do more T14s, T15s. Some of the stun related maps with a lot of ranged mobs, that hurts because I don't have enough stun threshold. They keep interrupting my shield charge and rolling slam, but I could put a support gem to solve that, or change my gear a little bit, or adjust my passives. Got a lot of options to solving that problem when it comes. But for now, just grind and get some XP. Here, give me that. Alright, that's it. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Peace.